Hey scrapbook friends, it's Nicole and I'm here with another Throwback Thursday album flip through. And this time I'm going to show you my volume 3 of my 2002 scrapbook. If you remember a couple weeks ago, I shared volume 2, which was actually my very first Creative Memories scrapbook. I became a Creative Memories consultant in May of 2002, and so I switched from the 8.5 by 11 3-ring binders I'd been using previously at that time when I became a Creative Memories consultant. And so even though I probably actually put this scrapbook together farther into 2002 or even 2003, that's kind of the cutoff line for me. So this would have been my second Creative Memories album. And if we have time, I'll do volume 4 as well. So I still kind of hadn't figured out title pages, and I was using kind of an enlargement or something just representative of something that had happened during that time frame for my title page. So it doesn't have any dates or anything, although I did write a little bit that's July to October 2002 on here. So I'm still using the calendar pages for each month and keeping track of some of the things that were going on. And it was interesting because as I was flipping through this to prepare for this video, I totally forgot that my sister Kim had moved in with us. I had no idea. And yeah, I don't have any memory actually of the time that she lived with us, although I do know that she came to visit us. So here's a few little calendar pages and just random things that happened in July. This is not CM paper. And I had traced the letters with a plastic letter template. This is before there was a Cricut or a Sizzix. Maybe not before there was a Sizzix. Before I had a Sizzix, for sure. So I traced the letters and cut those out with a letter template. We were stationed at Fort Bragg. This is one of my favorite pages. One of my favorite things when I switched to the 12 by 12 albums from the 8.5 by 11 was to be able to put all these pictures. And of course, you guys know the It's Raining Men song. And I used to always consider that to be the unofficial motto of Fort Bragg with the parachute jumpers. Maybe perhaps a little sexist at this point, but you know, I was only interested in one particular jumper. I don't know which one of these could possibly have been my husband, but boy, we had fun getting to go watch the 82nd Airborne Division jumpers. 4th of July, this was all one sticker strip that I used to decorate. You can see that my pages are white. Sometimes back then it was not really smiled upon to do a lot of wallpapering, but you'll see I did a lot of wallpapering. So I had all these stickers, had enlargement. That's something I've always liked to do, is to enlarge. This one was a 5 by 7. I think I might have meant to enlarge this photo so I could crop it down to fit in this space, but I didn't write a note and I apparently never enlarged it. So now we just have one small picture with a very, very large mat. So my husband was getting ready to deploy to Afghanistan, and so we decided to have professional pictures taken. And this is a very classic kind of old school Creative Memories style with just the border strip and some stickers. And of course our Old Navy shirts. That was like a thing we would do sometimes. So this was a neighborhood block party. Again, not CM stickers, but that same kind of border on white pages. There is supposed to be a picture here. I don't remember what it is a picture of. When I was scrapbooking this, I'm like, oh, where's that picture that goes there? I have never apparently found it. I don't remember now what picture is supposed to go there. There's very obviously an empty space where a picture is supposed to be. I'm gonna have to figure something out. Maybe dig through my old negatives. I don't know, because looking at this, my eye is very much drawn to this. And so you can use this as a scrapbooking kind of technique, how jarring it can be to have what we call white space in the middle of your page. If this space were up here, it would not be so visually unpleasant. But because it's here, your eye is drawn right here to this empty space. So try and put your white space to the outside and cluster your pictures in the middle. Don't do what I did right here. And if anybody knows what picture is supposed to go there, I would love to know, because I don't remember. This was years ago. All right, this was a little activity we had at church, and it was Pioneer Day, so I tried to kind of make a quilt. I think this is Keeping Memories Alive paper, and I just kind of did little scraps. Interestingly enough, this design Reminds me a little bit of a layout that was just on the Creative Memories blog a few days ago, where they took little random pieces of paper and then used sheet cut paper to kind of make a stained glass look. And I'm seeing a little bit of that. So, you know, just because I did this back in like 2002, 2003 doesn't mean it can't still work. Here's a little bit of woven paper. You probably recognize these old CM letters. Some rounded corners. This is still in the 3x5 photos day for me. And I was doing a lot more single pages because I had just switched from 8.5 by 11 size and to go to the 12 by 12. I just felt like I had so much paper. So we have this in one page here with the white background, very simple, which I think is good because this one is super busy with the busy background paper, the busy title, some silhouetted photos, lots of people. And so, you know, it's interesting. You can obviously tell these are two separate events. The VeggieTales pictures were from a single piece of 8.5 by 11 paper, I think, that I had. I just fussy cut around them so I could do a little thing about our garden, probably our first and last of our gardens. And then, of course, the Zesty Shortcuts zigzag stickers. And here we are to August with the same, where I traced the letters. I really do like this look, even now, looking back, where I used the same paper. Obviously, it was the paper that I cut out of here. I was able to use that same paper and layer it. I think it still gives a good look. And I really did like having a place that I could just put kind of some random pictures or pictures that were representative of what was going on in our family that month. So my mom came out to visit us. I said we had a great time, but forgot to take any photos till the night before she left to go back home. So I was still maybe a beginning scrapbooker to forget that. This was from one of those rulers, those CM, probably a National Scrapbook Day ruler that like had the little vine design. So I traced that with a pen, colored it in, and then put those stickers on it. Here we go. This is from the custom cutting system. Probably the hexagons were maybe new at this time. I haven't used these a lot. I was just thinking the other day, you know, I had to try and do something with the hexagons, so maybe this will inspire me. Again, white pages. Apparently I've gotten my Sizzix now. Maybe I had it a little bit before, but I don't like to use the same title on every page, so you're not going to see it on every single page. So this was right before my husband was getting ready to deploy to Afghanistan for the first time. And so I have all these kind of cute pictures of Michelle, my daughter, my youngest daughter, with her dad, just on here. So this was a ruled page. Creative Memories had at that time the pages with the actual jeeping on here that had the lines on it. And so this was great for when you had a lot of journaling to do. And I just talked about this fun thing that we used to do with putting one of the kids in a sheet or tablecloth or whatever and swinging them. So what I like about this is looking back kind of at some of the old things in our house. I had like a wallpaper border and some definite kind of, this was in the 90s, but it still feels, this was 2002 actually, but it still feels kind of, I don't know, 80s, 90s. This was one of my first adventures in kind of my own, drawing my own artwork. I did just kind of use what the car looked like and just kind of hand drew this. Whenever I do something like that, I draw on the back so that when I cut it out, I don't have to erase any lines. But actually that still, I'm pretty proud of that. Here's some more Sizzix. All right, so this is about when my husband left for Afghanistan. I apparently didn't journal anything. Just, you know, Afghanistan and this picture. Here's another real classic CM. These are from the die cuts and the little inside out squares with the square punch and some stickers. So first day of school for my kids. Went and had pictures taken, mostly for Michelle, who had turned 2, but I also had my picture taken. My husband was deployed, and so we wanted to have some pictures to send to him. This little picture of her with the rocking horse is one of my very, very favorites. I love these pictures. Those of you who know my daughter Michelle, will love just her super curly hair. She just had this almost little Shirley Temple-y, full-on ringlety, super, super curly hair that she has outgrown. She still has a lot of curl in her hair, but boy, when she had that little mop of curls when she was little, we loved that. So this was a sticker pack or a little thank you pack from Creative Memories, and it was great because I do in fact love scrapbooking and have these fun pictures scrapbooking with my little 2-year-old. And this is after I had become a Creative Memories consultant, and so I was having a crop, and I wrote about at my workshop we did a drawing, and so Katie, my daughter, had helped with the drawing. And you know, it's just so funny to think these two little girls are both in college, because I remember this picture very well, and now they're both all grown up. So again, just the great length stickers. You could totally do this with paper. I mean, these are old school pages, but I like them. I just think they're something I would do today and not be embarrassed at all by. So here we go with September. This one's harder to see, but I think you figure it out pretty easily that this is September. Same kind of thing, back to school. Even though back to school was a couple pages ago, September still seems to get to all the back to school stuff to go with it. So some crayons, just random pictures, lots and lots of pictures of my little 2-year-old, because, you know, they're just at peak cuteness about that age. So then here I journaled about my husband being gone, about us talking to him on the phone. She was only 2, so kind of hard to talk on the phone. I said we are lucky that he can call home for free for 10 minutes at a time, and he manages to call us almost every day. 2002, kind of pre-internet. I love this picture of her with our little house phone clipped to her pants as we were walking out to the mailbox and writing him a letter. I can see on here, I don't know if you can see on the video, I used some kind of a vellum adhesive, and it has definitely turned yellow. I don't know if you can see that. Yellow underneath that vellum. Is that interesting? I have no idea what kind of vellum adhesive I used. I don't think it's a good sign that it has turned yellow, but I'm not going to do anything about it at this point. This is very much a CM page. This was a CM sticker. We got a corner and a strip across 2 pages, a handwritten title, you know, 2002, 2003 time frame. So my daughter's nickname when she was little was Squeaky, and so this is kind of a play on her helping with our friend change the brakes and her dirty fingers, and you can really see her little ringlets here. I love this. And again, some CM, you know, apparently we had some little car fixing stickers, which is great because that's a thing that, you know, sometimes we take pictures of. I love that I journaled about our red chairs. We bought these chairs in like 1995. We still have them today. We still love them. Still comfortable. Lazy Boy chairs, great chairs. This is actually a kind of a velvety, suede paper, almost exact same color as the red chairs, and so that's maybe why I chose to use it. But yeah, still have those same red chairs. Secret hideout, I said she likes to squeeze in between the end table and the wall. And so for weeks, it became her favorite place to hang out while she was watching TV. That's just a cute little thing. I'm so thankful to have all these pages from my daughter's childhood. And it took pictures differently after I became a scrapbooker. So here we go in October. Again, some random pictures. My sister came to visit us. You know, I don't do a lot of kind of the shadow outline cutting. That was a thing for a while, but I don't do a whole lot of it, but sometimes, like for this, I really like it. Sometimes I still do it, fussy cutting. So here's my birthday again. This is probably, this might have been 12 by 12 paper. I don't know, it might have been 8.5 by 11. I'm feeling like I had to overlap it a little bit, right? Yeah. So I still had a whole stash of 8.5 by 11 paper. I don't know if you can see right here, but I had to, like, I think it was probably a square, and I cut some and overlapped it so I could use it on a 12 by 12. You can see I did a lot of journaling. I actually don't do quite this much journaling now. I wish I did. Okay. All my All my siblings pitched in to buy a fun new scrapbooking tool called a Xyron sticker maker, and Nana and Grandpa sent money for a Sizzix die cut machine. So this is when I got my Sizzix in October of 2002. So obviously I scrapbooked some of those Sizzix pages after October. So that's fun. She liked his little microphone. But I love this one. I'm glad that I journaled about this. Michelle had pretty bad bronchitis a lot when she was little, and kind of a lot of her childhood was spent with breathing treatments and ER visits, and kind of writing about some of those things that were a big part of our life while she was little and her dad was deployed. So here's my very first kind of big event, Croptoberfest. I still love to do Croptoberfest. I said I had 9 croppers. That's pretty good for my very first Croptoberfest. Decorated. I had food. And look at this. I have four people at one 6-foot table, you guys. Back in the day, that is what we did. 4 people at one 6-foot table. Here's 3 at one 6-foot table. We were glad to be there. It was okay. It was a thing. And I will never, ever make you do that again. Oh, and I used the natural pages. You see, I threw in some natural pages. I managed to, work them in, so I didn't even notice myself that I was putting in some natural pages. So here's Croptoberfest with my Sizzix, and probably the Croptoberfest customer sticker. This is, again, a traced and cut out title. This is some vellum paper, but I apparently hid the adhesive under the picture, and I really do like this bright neon paper, but you got to use it sparingly. This was probably a Creative Memories idea from back in the day, using this little At the Ranch, Day at the Ranch, I think was the theme pack. A little rocking horse that had been mine when I was a little girl that my mom brought out to me. And I actually don't know where it is now. I think it broke at some point after she had been playing with it for a while, but had fun, and we had a little song that we sang about horsey, horsey on your way. My older daughter played volleyball. This was absolutely an idea, probably from the sticker packaging, from the Creative Memories volleyball stickers. Lots of rounded corners, white background, very, very classic CM. Here's when my sister, Liesl, came to visit. Look, I'm already doing this 4 pictures with the space in the middle layout that I still do. This is the first time I remember seeing it. That's kind of fun. Excuse me. And then this is another Sizzix font that I got. So already, I've only had my Sizzix a little while. I'm already collecting fonts, which is a thing I do. This one I actually drew the merry-go-round myself. Probably took lots and lots of tries and then colored it in with some colored pencil. Here's just a basic color block. I still love a color blocked page. Love this picture of my daughter kind of through the playground at Chick-fil-A. And you can see right here, I'm going on to the natural again. We went out to a pumpkin farm. I used to subscribe to Creating Keepsakes magazine, and they would do like a different hand-drawn font. I'm positive that that's where this little pumpkin font came from that I drew with pencil, then colored in with, or traced around with pen, and then colored in with colored pencils. But I mean, that's actually a really cute font even for today. I don't do a lot of hand-drawn stuff anymore, but I used to have a lot of fun doing some of those things. And then this is probably me and my big ideas. It was probably these 2 pieces went together, but I had a lot of those old scrapbook embellishments, this style that went together. This also went with the little fence. So 4 pages of this, our little trip to the pumpkin farm and the petting zoo. And then more scrapbooking. I said that we had one main goal for our time together, and that was to do scrapbooking, and that the girls were very good to let their mommies crop as long as they could share the fun. So here they are kind of scrapbooking with us. And me and my big ideas stickers. I loved these little cartoony girls from Me and My Big Ideas. This was the thing we did in our neighborhood where you'd get a little treat on your doorstep with a poem that said you'd been booed, and then you had to pass it on to somebody else. That was a fun tradition. Michelle, that year I was way into longer burger baskets, which is a terrible addiction I had. And so we made her a longer burger basket. That was her Halloween costume. And so here I'm sewing the longer burger, and then we've got actual Halloween. if you've been watching my channel, you know that just this year at Halloween, I redid this border, similar border. I didn't put the candies on it, but with the candy corn. Just still a fun thing to do with the custom cutting system circles and the and to make the candy corn. And then the last one, just journaling. Yay me. I didn't have anything to put on the end about how, but I talked about how Sarah had trouble figuring out the trick-or-treat game. Michelle would eagerly hold out her basket for candy while Sarah hid behind her mom. But then we came to a house where a little boy just Sarah's size was giving out the candy. Sarah finally realized that the object of the game was for people to put candy in your basket, not take it out. And from then on, she seemed to have caught the Halloween spirit and was just as eager as Squeaky to go up to strangers and hold out her pumpkin. So I love that I journaled that, you know, and that this probably is because I was much closer to caught up back in 2002 than I am now. So I still remember some of these fun stories. So here you go. This is Throwback Thursday 2002 Volume 3. I thought maybe I would do 3 and 4 together in one video, but it's 20 minutes. So I will save Volume 4 and we will do that one probably next week for Throwback Thursday. So thank you so much. I sure enjoy flipping through my old albums, and I love that there are people that are interested and hope that you can get inspiration even today from some of these layouts that I did 20 years ago. All right, thanks a lot and happy scrapbooking.